Everyone able to hear my voice, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. So, mm, yesterday we discussed about traversing of a element in a list using while loop and for loop. But while loop, actually, instead of the small I have given a capital I. So that's the reason it's written in error. So you can observe here in the while loop, while I less than n less than length of n. So it will calculate based on the length of n. So what is the length of n here? So 0, 1, 2, 3. So it will calculate the based on the values which are available in the list. N is nothing but a list, right? So based on that, I value should be cross verified by using this condition. Initial I equal to 0, I less than 0. So 0 less than 0, then it will print that particular value. After that, it is going to increment it. So once it is incremented, I value will be 1, 1 less than length value. So what is the length value? You know, right? It's around like 8 or 9. So 1 less than 9, then it will be incremented. So that incremented before incrementing that second value will be printed from the this list like this. So we are going to iterate the loops by using this approach. So we can integrate list with loops like this. So we can print so even integers also, because so it is accepting both heterogeneous sorry homogeneous and heterogeneous data. So this is the way we can write while loop. Yesterday we discussed about for loop already. So now um, I want to explain some predefined functions in the list. That functions will help you to modify the list content. Okay. So just now we discussed about this length function. The same example, but how the length function will work. The first function is length function. This length function is same like string. So common, this length function you can use in everywhere wherever you are using this data structures and data types. So it will return what length of the, it will return all length of the elements, right? So print of length of n, print of length of n. See, it written what? G11. So entire this list length is what? N, 11. So like this we can use this length function and count. Next one is what? Count. Count function. So for this function, it will return what? Count of the characters. I mean count of the values which are available in the list. See, for example, here I am going to write a duplicate value. Again, 3, comma, 3, comma, here, comma, 4, comma, 4, comma, okay, like this. So now you can check the length will be increases because we added few more values in the list. Now I want to use this count function. Okay, print of n dot count of, print of n dot count of t. I want to know how many threes are there. Okay, I want to know how many threes are there in this list by using this count function. See, three. Three threes are there. So you can observe 1, 2, 3. So it is printing like this, the count function. Next one is okay, index function. All these functions basically we are going to use while implementing the list data structure in our logic. So all these are depends upon the requirement we might be using. So all these functions we won't use for one requirement, right? So sometimes we want to, in our automation script, the customer, like the automation script, we want to cross verify how many elements are there in the list. So we know how many elements. I mean, we are expecting something called in the UI side. Let's say we are going to do the validation in our automation script. The front end application, UI application, is returning some list of values 10, and you are doing the validation assertion using database, right? So in the database, the particular value is also 10. So you want to cross verify both. So in that case, we can find the first of all length of the list which is showing in the UI, and the same length of the list which is returning from the database, then you can doing the assertion. So like that, some situations that while doing those automation, while writing the automation script, so as per the usage, you are going to use all those things. So index. So next method is index. Sorry, function is, see, method and function both are same. Sometimes I can say method because whenever we are discussing about object oriented programming concepts, at that time we can call these functions as a methods. But this is not a object oriented programming. Okay, core Python will follows different programming methodologies: scripting oriented programming, procedure oriented programming, and scripting oriented programming, procedure oriented programming, and functional oriented programming, module oriented programming. All these programming methodologies is going to support in core Python. So here we can call it as a functions, right? So all these are a predefined functions. If you are writing a logic using object oriented approach, there we can call as a methods. Okay, so now this index, right? Index function. What happened? It was stuck. Okay. N dot index. N dot index of. I want to know the P. P is the one of the value from this list, right? I want to know the index of 3. Okay. If I run it, you can see 3. Why it is showing 3? 0, 1, 2, 3. Right? The first, it will return only first index value. If the particular value is occurring multiple times also, it will return only first index occurrence. This is the syntax of this index function. Okay. So if I take 14, because this is the last index, it return the whatever the index position of the 10th, it will return that. So like this, we can use the index function. These these functions, see, whatever functions that I explained, all these three functions related to information about a list. To get information about a list. Information in the sense, whatever list we are having, I want to get the information about the list, how many values are there in the list, how much the count of a particular value, and what is the index position of the value, all those things related to information. And what about manipulated functions? List manipulated. So we already discussed list is a mutable. Mutable in the sense we can modify the list, right? So manipulated elements. Manipulated elements. So I want to modify the list. So for this, we are going to use a function called end function. Okay. Here, for example, I am going to take a list equal to empty list. Okay. This is my empty list. I want to print status of this list. Okay. Here I'm going to comment all these things because unnecessary multiple times it will be printed. You are going to be confused. So you can check it's an empty list. Okay. Now I want to use this append function for this list. List dot append of what? Test Python. Okay, this is the first value I have appended. Now I'm trying to print it. You can observe here. Initially it was entered a string. Okay. Now I'm going to write another append function here. List dot append of 37. Okay, some number. Listed of append of 2.5. Some floating number. Okay, now you can cross verify. This is the list. So like this, how it is appending the values one by one. We already discussed in the theory. It is following what? In incremental order. So initial value will be placed as the 0th position. Next value will be placed at first element, 0th element, first element index position, right? 0th index, first index, second index, third index, like keep on. It is increasing the index values. It will follow incremental order. Incremental means whatever you entered first, that will consider as a first, right? This is what we can use this append function. Okay. So now I'm going to write a simple program. This will show you how this append function will use here. Okay, I will comment it. All these things I will write this. So here to add elements to list up to 100, which is divisible by 10. Okay, the program is to add all elements to a list up to 100, which is divisible by 100. So 10th table, simply we can say 10th table I want to print. Okay, so initially using this, please be on mute. Thank you. So I'm going to take list equal to empty initial. Okay, now my requirement is I want to print numbers. Okay, I want to print 10th table here. So 10th table in the sense, so 10, 10, 10, 1, 0, 10, 10, 2, 0, 20, like that. So from the 0th element. So up to 100, which is divisible by 10. Okay, simple. So I'm going to write a for loop for I in range of 101. Now, right, range function flavors. We can give starting and ending, or we can give single value also based on our requirement. So if I divided by 10 double equal to 0, I divided by 10 double equal to 0, I divided by 10 in the sense, what is the I value here initially? 0. 0 divided by 10, right? 0 divided by 10 double equal to 0. What we know, right? 0. So yes, it's 0. So now I'm going to initially, what is the list? List is a empty. I am applying append function. List dot append of I. I value will be what? Finally 0 by 10 equal to 0. Is correct or not? So it's 0. And then it will be append. Okay. Once it is append, we are going to print, right? We are going to print the entire value list. Okay. So what is the next value? 1 by 10. Is it double equal to 0? No, it won't add. It won't append. 2 by 10, 3 by 10, 5 by 10, like this. It is keep on rotating until this 101 is satisfied. So whenever you will get a 0 by doing this calculation, then only that value will be appended. If condition is not satisfied, that value cannot be appended. That value cannot be appended by using this append function to this list. You can observe here. Oh, sorry, I have given. See, but you can observe this change, but it's not a correct way. I will change it. See, initially, how many times 0 will be printed? All those things will be rotated. But the problem is here, we cannot write this print here. We have to write in the for loop, because this if condition logic is list dot append. Okay, once it is append, you are going to print the list. So that list, if you written in this for loop, it will so if you are writing in the condition like if condition level, so the logic is related to if condition. What will happen? whatever value it is iterated 0, 1, 2, 3. Based on that, every print statement will be multiple. So I want to print specific values, right? So you can have 0, 10, 20, 30, 40. So like this, you can write, because I want to print the list based on this for loop only, right? So then the logic is here. So this is the way you can use this append function. Okay. Then this one is I am just removing it. Okay. The next one is insert function. So we already discussed about append, and the next one is insert function. Insert. In this insert function, I'm taking this n is equal to this much list. I don't need, because it will be confused for you. So this is the list, simple list. So I want to apply this insert function. So n dot insert. See, you are getting multiple functions. If I put like this dot, all these are the inbuilt functions up to what? Insert. See, append, count, index. So we covered most of them. Okay. Insert of what? 1 comma 454. Here what I am trying to do? Indexing. I am requesting this index. First index, instead of what is the first index value? 1. Instead of 1, I want to insert 454. This is my requirement. So you can check. Int of n. So here I will write print before to cross verify the list, before and after. See, before what is the value? List value. What is the list here? 0, 1, 2, test 8, 9, 10. Okay. After we applied this insert function, we have provided a index called 1, and 454 is a value. So then what will happen? First index substitution inserted this value here, and this existing value will be moved to next index. Okay. This is the way you can use the insert function. See, so what about in some situations, a few of the functions, those will delete this existing value and I will update the value. So that is the different scenario. Okay. But here, this insert function prototype is nothing but it will move the existing value, and it will update the latest value in the particular index, whatever you were provided. Here we have provided first index. What is the existing value in the first index? 1. That should be traversed to right hand side, and the latest value will be updated. So this is the use of index function. And the next one is what? Next one is, there is a difference in interview question. They will ask you, so can you please provide the difference between append and insert function in the list? In a list, when we add any element, it will come to last. It will be last element. It will come to last. You can observe here in this append previously how it's worked. I am going to uncomment this code, okay, to cross verify this thing. I'm going to run it. Okay, forget about this n, because this is this list only. I'm going to comment it to clear picture for all of you. Now we can observe initially list is empty. Once you use this append function, what will happen? The values that we are adding are values. We can say values, objects, elements. All these are similar words. Okay. So if you add any value or any element, it will come in a last. See, after Python, 37 will be there. After 37, 2.5 will be there. But in an insert function, any element that we can insert by using index value. We are going to provide a input called a index 1. I want to update the 5th index. This is for example, this test. I want to which index it is in this list. You can observe here. 0 is the 0th index. 1 is the first index. 2 is the second index. 3 is the test. I mean, test is the 3 index. So now I am going to update this third index instead of test. Okay, instead of test, I'm going to. You can give anything, floating value also inside. Like it's a it's not a homogeneous, it's a heterogeneous, right? We can give anything. So I'm going to do 12.5. Okay, instead of test, I'm going to comment this existing function and count function logic. You can observe only this is the before print and this is after inserting the print. See 12.5 and this test got moved towards. So this is what we can use the difference between insert and append function. So next topic is the next function is extend function. What is the extend function? Add all elements of one list to another list. We are merging the two lists. This is the requirement. We are merging the two lists. So all present, all items or values or objects, all elements, all these are the similar words. So all items present in the list 2 will be added to the list 1. Say like say for example, this is our list 1. Okay, let's say this is our list 1. N is equal to sum. Okay, now I'm going to add a new list called N1 equal to, here I'm going to write something called test, Python, 12. These are the key values which are available in the second list. I want to use the extend function. Okay, simple n dot extend. You can observe extend of n2 for n1. N dot extend of n1. Then print of n. Right? N is the previous one. This is the previous one. We are going to print this only because we are extending, we are adding the n1 list to this list. Okay, that's the reason we are trying to print n dot. You can check this. See, this both previously, this is the n. Now we merged both using extend. Okay, we are using this approach for extend and this function. This is all about extend function. And what about the remove function? I want to remove some elements from a list. Okay, how can we remove it? We can use this function to remove specified element from a list. If the element present in multiple times, it will remove only first occurrence. So for example, in this list we are having multiple times 8 is there. Okay, after 8 I'm putting another 8 something. Okay? 4 times 8 is there. I want to remove 8. Okay, so if I'm trying to use this remove function, what will happen? So n dot remove of 8. I want to remove 8. Print of n. You can observe the difference between before and after. See how many 8s are there here? 4 8s are there. But which one is deleted? First occurrence means it might be this. That's it. This one is deleted and removed. And now the 8, how many 8s are there? 3 8s are there. Previously it's 4 8s. So like this we can use remove function. And what about a function called pop? There is a function called pop. Pop function. So how it is useful? Okay. So it removes and returns the last element of a list. For example, if you have because see here in this remove function, if you are giving a specific value, right? The value of the list, so that it is removing the value based on the list. If it is a multiple values are available in the list, it is returning the first occurrence based on the index. Okay, but this pop function is different. See, this list contains what? So 4 8 8 8 9 10 like that something, right? If you apply pop function, what it will happen? It will remove and return the last element of a list. Automatically, it will remove the 10th and it will print in the console. I removed 10, last element only. This is only function which manipulates the list and returns some element. The function entire list data structure. This is the only function. It will manipulate the list and returns the manipulated elements, means modified element. Whatever you removed, that one will be shown to you the console. So now I am going to apply this pop function print of n dot pop. I'm not providing any value. Previously, in this remove function, we entered a value of 8. But here, I'm not providing any value. Automatically, pop, what is the structure of the syntax of the pop function? The pop function is going to remove the last element from a list and it should be printed in the console also. I removed this element. That is what that pop function is going to indicating to you. So you can observe here. See, 10th. I removed 10th. If you after this, I want to print of n. You can observe again. See, got removed and it printed, and we are printing again the list, right? Then it is showing 9. So this is all about the pop function. And there is another difference between remove and pop function. This is also an interview question. Okay, what is the difference between remove and pop function in the list data structure? So we in the coming to remove, we can remove special element from the list. Whatever element you want to remove it, you can remove it by providing the value, right? In the line number 27, you can observe. And coming to pop, it will remove the last element only. In the line number 30, you can observe we are not providing any input. N dot pop. That's it. It is going to be removed the last element. And it cannot return any value. See, this remove function is showing any returning value. This is the value I have deleted. No, it's not written any value. But coming to pop, it will return some value, whatever element it was removed. Okay, so this is what the difference between remove and pop. Okay, now the third topic is, see here, to get the information about the list. I want to get the list information by applying these functions. Here, manipulating the elements in a list. There is a list is there, existing list. You want to manipulate the data in the list. Okay, by using these manipulated functions. Okay, now third topic is called ordering elements of a list. I want to maintain a order. Okay, so we can use, there is a function called reverse function. Okay, it will maintain the order. Okay, so how to do this order? We can use to maintain the order for this list. So I think it might be get a issue because of there is a string is also there in the list. We'll see how it will be written. Okay, now simply n dot reverse, method name is n dot reverse int of n, because it's a heterogeneous, right? We'll see. No, it's ordered. Very good. How it's ordered? How this test is considered as a after 8? If you are using this what is called heterogeneous, not a homogeneous. Heterogeneous in the sense different data types, right? So 10 is a integer, test is a string. I will do one thing. I will add one floating value also. 0.5. 0.5 will come to the first 10, 9 test. How it should considered internally? There is a typecasting functions we discussed, right? Those typecasting functions and as well as integer I mean inbuilt functions in the integer, right? Hexadecimal, octadecimal, and binary form. All those functions will come into the picture. Those will consider the calculate this test in the that will be converted in the decimal form, and finally the value will be calculated. This is what the value after which is coming from this particular value. Internally it will be calculated. You don't need to worry about this. If you are using even a string and floating values also. Okay, like this we can order it. Okay, so now I want to do one thing. Instead of
Hi,
this,
sorry for interrupting. Someone is waiting to join the class. They are texting in the WhatsApp group.
okay, I will check with them.
Okay.
Okay, don't Actually, they are from a different institution. Okay, so they I requested in the fourth day or fifth day only to pay the fee. That institution people is also not yet responded, and these people are also not ready to pay the fee. So that's the reason we
Okay, fine.
blocked them. Okay, don't worry, I
Okay.
will remove them from the group. Okay.
Okay.
So now we are reversing it. Here we are applying the reverse. So now I want to create another list here. Okay, I want to create another list here. In this list, I'm going to write only integers to differentiate the existing list and current list. Okay. So here, 20 comma something called 5 comma 15 comma 0, okay, comma -1. Okay. So now I want to apply reverse function for that list also. I'm going to comment it. So n1 dot reverse of print of n1. Okay. See, you can observe here, this is the existing list is contains what? Heterogeneous. So now here we have written this is also kind of heterogeneous, but there is no string and floating value. Here we have applied a negative value also. Okay. So but all are digits. Okay, there is no string. So how it should be reversed, right? That's the reason I want to write this function. You can upcheck it. See, -1 will be the first, 0, 15, 5, 20. So what order it follows internally? So internally it will follows numbering order. So how the numbering order we know, right? After 0, positive numbers are there. Before 0, negative numbers are there. Right? We know the order numbering system. So this is the way if you apply the reverse function, if the list contains only digits and if the list contains digits, numbers, characters and string, everything. So this is what we can apply the both. Okay. And next one is sort function. Okay, up to this we discussed about reverse function to reverse the content of a string, to reverse the content of a list based on the numbering system and as well as order. So now the next one is sort method. There is a method called, there is a function called sort. So you don't confuse, both are the same names because different programming methodologies we can call it as a different naming conventions. So n dot sort. Okay, I have applied this is instead of this -1 I will give like a 5 comma 98 comma 12 comma 4. Okay, this is what the n1 I am having a list. I want to sort it. n1 dot sort. n1 dot sort. I want to print the sorted value. Print the n1. You can observe before printing, before sorting, what is the n1? I'm going to comment this. Okay, now we can see n1 is what? It's not following any order. I have written randomly, and I want to print this n1 value. So after sorting, what is the output? See, it is following what sorting order like this 0, 4, 5 perfectly. So for numbers, what is the sorting order? Default sorting order is a ascending order. It is following default sorting order. Okay. So I want to reverse it. We can apply the reverse function. The sorting order, if you want to reverse the sort order, see, default, what is the sorting order here? Right, incremental, right? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is called ascending order. I want to sort the values in the descending order. Simply you can send reverse equal to reverse equal to okay, you can check now. Table 5, 98, 20, 15, 12, 5, 4, 0. So You want to sort in a ascending order, by default n dot sort will work. If you want to treat in a descending order, what will happen? This reverse, if you have to pass a parameter called reverse equal to true, it will do the descending. Okay. Now there is a question. So is it possible to sort integers and strings? I can apply on this list. Okay, instead of this list, I'm going to apply on the bow list. So now we can check. I want to sort instead of n1 n, right? N dot sort. I'm going to just remove this and okay n. So what will happen? Not supported between instances of string and integer. It cannot sort string heterogeneous content. Strings and integers, booleans, floatings, those it can float values it cannot sort. If you provided a string, automatically it consider it cannot sort. How can we sort the string values? So in this case, there is a requirement. There is a strings are there, integers are there. How can you do that? You have to divide the two lists and strings should be in the another list and integer should be in another list. Then you can do the sorting. That is a different requirement, complex requirement when we are doing the development or automation. Development is nothing but for automation also, right? So I want to sort another. I'm going to give a n is equal to n2 is equal to Python comma automation comma test comma training. Done. Now you can check this n2 list how it is sorting, because here we have provided all the integers. Okay, I'm going to change it to n2. We can check how it worked. Automation Python TETR alphabetical order. Okay, if you want to sort the strings as a content in your list, it will follow alphabetical order. If you want to reverse the alphabetical order to A to Z to Z to A, in the reverse way, reversed equal to reversed equal to what? It will happen. Reversed equal to n2 dot sort. Okay, reverse equal to true. Reversed is the separate function. You can check training test Python automation. So ascending and descending order, you can do the sorting. So this is all about the ordering of elements in a list. Ordering of elements. How to order the content in a list, how to order the elements in a list, how to order the objects in a list, all are same. Okay, in object oriented programming, if you are discussing the same list, you are applied in object oriented programming, there you can call it as a objects. The same list, if you are applying in these kind of normal procedure oriented programming or scripting oriented programming methodology, we can call it as a elements. Okay, or values. These are all the values, these are all the elements if you are considered as a normal core Python programming. But if you are writing a logic using object oriented programming, these are all considered as a individual objects, because the programming methodology is same, the usage of logic is different, the usage of list is same, but the environment, the writing of logic that we are using, different programming methodologies. So in different places we can call it as different naming conventions, but the value is the same. So this is the flexibility in the Python. You can write the same the same list, you can apply in the non-oops also and oops also, it will work for you. Okay, but the declarations and syntaxes little bit vary. Okay, based on the programming methodology process. But this programming methodology, you can see You are not writing any difficult logic, just writing this list and applying the functions whatever you want. So this is what a scripting oriented and as well as a normal procedure oriented. I mean, if you want to apply loops and also you can apply this. So, and there are some concept called mathematical operators, how it will be work on the list. Mathematical operators. Mathematical operators. So you can check a equal to 10 comma 20 comma 30. Okay, this is my a. I mean first list. B equal to 40 comma 60. This is my second list. Okay, A, B are the two lists. So now I want to add two lists. Okay, simple, same day one program. A plus B value. A plus B. Okay, print of C. You can observe. I'm going to comment these two also. Okay, because unnecessary it is going to be printed. So you can observe the value here. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Two lists you can add like this. Okay. How can you use the multiplication operator? So we can call it as a repetition operator here. So I want to print a list in the 3 times. Okay. Simple. You can observe like this. You can say like this. See. I'm going to comment this existing one. Or else I will do one thing. Okay. Comment it. C equal to A into 5. Now you can observe. How many times? 10, 20, 30, 10, 20, 30, 10, 20, 30. 5 times it got printed, multiplied. So how it multiplied? Based on this list values. Okay. This is the way you can do the list operator, list functions using mathematical operators. Same like as a membership operator we discussed already. Comparison operators, membership operators, all those things. So I will go with a membership operator. So what is the membership operator? Just anyone tell me if you are remembered, we discussed in the operators concept of membership. This membership operator we will use in
Is not
sorry.
is not membership, I guess.
Not no same like as, but not is not in, not in.
Okay. Okay.
It is also similar. Is not in is also similar, but that is the separate operator. Okay, so this operator is we can call it as a membership operator called in, not in. Membership in the sense membership in the sense if you are having a membership with some a third party associate like bank or something. So you what you so I'm having like I'm having an account within the bank, right? Something you can say. So that's the reason they use the English words kind of stuff like in, not in. Okay, so in and not in. These are the membership operator. In and not in. So now how can you check it? So simple. There is a. I'm going to uncomment this first list because this is a big list. So I want to class verify. I want to apply this membership operator. Int of 10, right? Something called 10 in n. Int of 10 in n. It will return what you can say true because the 10 is there. Yes. Okay. Print of test. I'm going to apply test in n. Okay. Instead of test, I'm going to write Python. Right? Simple. It will show what false. Okay. What I will do? I will apply not in. It's not there. It will return what? Like this, we can apply in, not in membership operators. So until this, it's clear. Okay. So next one is see, all these predefined functions. If you are applying on the list in the real time, when you use the list in your logic in automation script, there might be a situation you will get to do any one of these operations. You will get to use any, you have to use any one of these operations in your list. something called, sometimes they don't want to print all the content. They want to print a specific a first index of the value. So then you can take the first index indexing mechanism or slicing mechanism, you can apply it. No, I want to print a specific values, then I want to reverse the see in the UI it is showing a reverse order the content. So but from the database it is coming in a different order. How can you do the reverse? So you can apply this function to reverse it, and then you can do the validation. See, in the testing perspective, validation is important, right? As a tester, so what is our concern? What is our main goal? We have to verify and validate. That is the major keywords, right? We have to verify whether this functionality is working or not. If it is working, then we will move it to done, like UAT or production version. Until completion of our testing only we cannot do. So how can those validation we apply and verifications in our automation? By using assertions. So that concept will come in future. So these assertions we are going to put both of them in. Left side is the expected value, right side is the current value. If both are same, then the test case will pass. If it returns a different value from the database, immediately it will be the failed. So sometimes what will happen, there is a requirement. I'm working for recently in one of the freelance application. So in the UI, they're having a list of elements called what? List of elements, which it is returning a list from the UI side, but the list of elements what? Sorry, 20. We're able to see the list of elements in the UI application. 20 values are there. So 20 elements are there. So they're restricting to show remaining. Okay, it actually 29 elements. Okay, but in the UI they restricted the logic, because as per the application design they may not accept more than 20. So what will happen, from the database they are returning 29 values. Whatever is there in the database table, that is returning 29 values from the API call. So database side, I want to complete the test case to cross verify both the values are what? Same. Both the values are what? Same, right? So then only the assertion will pass, the test case will complete it. So what will happen? I checked already. So I put some print statements in the console.log, all those things, loggers to print in the console. What is the output value which is coming from the UI? But when I debug the code in the UI side, the JavaScript framework or whatever the UI developers, they restricted as per the application design, they restricted only 20. But the database side, the automation testing team, the testing team need to cross verify both values are same. So either we have to do the one thing, manipulating the list which is coming from the database, because we cannot modify the UI values. They restricted to 20 only. Then what I did, so immediately I capture the list of values which is coming from the database in the another session value. So I have removed the list of elements by using index, by using slicing and index, right? So 0 to 10, then it only 10, sorry, 0 to 20. So only 20 values will be printed in the assertion value. Then both are same, the test case is passed. But this is not a correct fix, because the functionality point of view, they are blocked. So that you have to check with the business people or the team lead or whoever is corresponding front-end developers, or what is called Scrum Master, the product owner, who are the responsible person. They have to provide the proper guidelines. But as of now, temporarily, to pass the test case, we just use this remove value, remove function or slicing mechanism, whatever it is. So but we can use pop multiple times also, because we want 20 only, right? The output also, but it is showing 29. I can apply pop 9 times. Is it possible? Is it a correct way of logic? Multiple times you have to write the pop method? No. Or you can include the pop method in the for loop also. 9 times need to validate it. That might be correct. No, but it's a lengthy logic. How can I simplify it? By simply using slicing 0:20. That's it. Then the list which is coming from the DB, I cutted the remaining content after 20th. After 20th value, it is showing only 20 values. Then both are same. The assertion passed. So like that, we can use certain conditions. If they want, okay, you can do the validation like that. As of now, the UI is restricted only 20 values. So whatever values which is more than 29, you can write a logic in the automation. Then you can do the validation. If they says like that, this is the approach. So like this, we don't know in the real time. All these functions might be uses. I mean, the usage might be different ways. Okay, so you have to learn all these things, so then only we'll get a good idea about this. Okay, next topic is clear function and nested lists. Clear function. So I want to clear the entire list content. Okay, I will do one thing. There is a list here. I declared something called what? A is a list, right? I want to clear the list. Okay, and I want to use the clear function. Okay, print sorry, n dot a dot clear, not count, a dot clear, print it, print of a. You can observe clear function will clear the content of a list. It's an empty list now. Okay, this function will use sometimes you want to clear it. See, you can observe, you can imagine it. You are having some situations while doing the automation script. So that's the thing about clear function. So coming to nested lists, what is the nested list? I explained at the time of introduction in the list. There is a list called a nested list. You can write one list as a sub list into another list. It is called nested list. Simple. Here I'll the same. I will remove this clear function. Okay, comma, 40. You can observe here. Comma, after comma, you have put square braces, and within the square braces, you have written a data, right? The values, whatever it is. So now I want to print, okay, first I want to print A. See, nested list got printed. Okay. Now I want to print off A of index 1. Okay. Index 1 will be the what? 20, right? Index, how the index will start in Python? 0 is 0 is 0. What is the 0 here? 10, 20 is 1, 30 is something. What about this 30? This should be again 1. I will tell you. Okay, 20 is printed. Done. Now I want to print. Second one, right? So what is this 0th index? First index, second index. I want to print third index. This entire nested list, sub list will comes under one index only. Okay, one index only. Now you can observe A of 3. 30, 40. Sub list. Sorry, right? Nested list means sub list got printed. Now I want to print the first value from the sub list of 0. Again, this 3 of 0 is nothing but this index. I mean, 3 of 1 is nothing but this one. 30 will be printed. Like this, you can use nested lists in the Python. And the last concept is in the list topic is called list comprehensions. List comprehensions. So, what is the use of list comprehensions? So, basic intention of this list comprehensions. It is very easy by seeing and compact way of writing a logic, very simple, and creating a list objects from any iteratable objects. If you are creating a list objects, see, from any iteratable objects means what? Range function, list function, sorry, range data structure, okay, list data structure, tuple data structure, dictionary data structure, any data structure that you are included in the iteratable objects. Again, sorry, iteratable conditions. So what is iteratable conditions statements, right? For loop and while loop. Right? For loop and while loops are called iteratable statements. Iteratable in the sense it is going to iterate the values until available in the collection. Again, collection is called what? What is the intention of for loop? For loop will iterate the values until that collection is completed. That collection contains what again? List, string, tuple, list, string, range, all these predefined data types and data structures, right? So for loop only retrieving the content from the data structures. So Now from the for loop, you are getting the data in what form? Multiple values, right? So how can you hold those multiple values? So by using a list, we are the output whatever which is coming from the for loop. Basically, previously we printed, right? Print how to integrate for loop with the list. We just printed one by one, one by one. No, I don't want to print like that. I want to print the returning values from the for loop in a capture in a list. How can you capture like that? By using comprehension. The major usage of comprehension is it is very easy and compact way of creating a list objects from any iteratable objects like these for loop condition, for loop statements along with the tuple and all. So based on some condition, again based on some condition. So I will show you the logic, then you can understand. So the syntax is like this. Comprehension syntax equal to expression per item in list if condition. You can write logic like this in one line only. So when this is going to be useful comprehensions? So if some iteratable objects, okay, all these are iterating some values one by one. How can you hold those iteratable values into a list by use this kind of comprehensions function? So for example, let's say I want to print okay, the values from divisible by. I want to print 1, 9, 16. What is this? Square root, right? Square root. Something like 1, 9, sorry, 1, 4, 9. 9 in the sense 3 into 3, 9. 4 into 4, 16. 5 into 5, 5, something like that. I want to print like that up to what 100 numbers. So how can it is possible? I will show you. So for example, let's say S is equal to X into X. This is the expression. Okay. For X in range, this is a iteratable object 1 comma 11. Now observe here print of yes 149. So why don't we use this in a single for loop? Yeah, we can use it, but here what is the requirement? We are integrated for loop with some expression, some value. Say whatever we are doing the if condition, right? We are say if you are apply the same as a simple for loop, what is the logic? Instead of this comprehension, sorry, list comprehension for X in range of 1 comma 11 colon if X into X, something like this, right? We are going to write if X into X, if X if X into X colon print of X like this. So then again going to print off something, print off yes. So instead of writing like this, we are going to combine all these requirement in one line using comprehensions. Comprehensions are useful to capture the created list objects, returned objects. All those returns values will be captured in a list from a iteratable objects. So this is a condition. See, iteratable object, okay, iteratable statement with this iteratable object called range function. You can check again. So we can hold all the required output into a list without declaring a list. Automatically it will be holded. So this is called a list comprehension. So the list comprehension, basically we will use requirement also different ways in the logic. Okay. So this is what about the list topic, and just go through this notes. See, all these functions I have written with the examples. Okay. The only thing is you have to practice it. differences also I made a notes, because at the time of my learning almost 7 years back, I have captured these notes. So, and I modified whatever it is requirement for testing, because it's for development notes actually. But few of the functions, this cloning function, we may not use. So that's the reason those functions are not demonstrated as per the automation perspective. Okay. So, but copy function. So these are all the things. Say repetition operation, comparison of the lists, and as well as membership, clear function, nested list. Okay, this matrix won't be used actually. List comprehensions. There is a program to unique vowels present in the word. So all these are okay. So I will share these notes also, and I will share some list programs. But I didn't get any mail or any message from anyone related to practicing the programs. So please practice it. If you are practice the programs in different ways, then only you can write a automation logic. Otherwise, you will be confused. So I will show one like a real-time scenario of the one of the code snippet you can observe here. See here, the requirement is it's a data-driven testing. So don't think in depth, but I want to show you list comprehension how we are used here. See, I use it like this: list control param db. See here, the data is coming from the database. List control param self dot get report control param means this method will talk to the database. From there, this is returning the data in the list format. I want to print in the list format this data. Then I applied this list comprehension x for x in the list comprehension db. If x not in remove list, it is a different logic actually. But this is the way you can use the list comprehensions in the real time. So list comprehensions are if you want to capture the list objects in from a iteratable objects in the list. Instead of capturing a individual object, instead of printing individual objects, you can capture them in a list format. So from the different sources, then you can use this kind of comprehensions. So this is the way we can basically write the logics in the real time. Okay, using these comprehensions, all those things. Okay, so please practice it. Tomorrow we will start tuple. We will complete tuple and set data structure, because tuple is having very limited functions, because tuple is a immutable data structure. So list is what? Mutable. You can modify the list, right? We apply this all these manipulated functions because the list is immutable. But coming to tuple, it's a immutable. Just go through the operators notes. There is a table I shown you: mutable, immutable, mutable types, all those things. So immutable. So we cannot, once you declare the tuple, you cannot modify it. It won't accept you to modify the content. So when we are going to use the tuple, there is a specific requirement, that's a restricted requirement, that the person cannot modify the content. Then we can use the tuples, all those things. So tomorrow I'm going to discuss about, I'm going to explain about tuple data structure and set data structure, and as well as those those two data structures. Okay, so I will share some list example programs also.